everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday. It's time for another episode of Daily Dose of Doll. Bum, bum, bum. That means it's the time of the week where we talk about a kind of touchy subject, I guess you could say. So far, all the topics that we've discussed on this show have been a little controversial, I suppose. You could definitely start some heated debates on the topics that we've discussed. So let's start another one. So this week we are going to be talking about cheaters. You know, the people who get into relationships with people, claim that they love them, and then go and devote their time and attention to somebody else. It's always great fun. So I thought this week we could talk about cheaters. I'm going to share my experiences with you guys. I'm going to talk about how I got over it, how I moved on with my life. And I want you guys to weigh in the comments below. Share your stories about cheating, especially if you got over it and it empowered you in some way. Share that so other people can read it. It's definitely a subject that a lot of people can relate to, and it ruins a lot of people's lives. So if you can share your experience and help somebody else heal and move on from that, that would be absolutely amazing, don't you think? So, I definitely have been cheated on. Oh yeah. I haven't been in a lot of relationships in my life, but let's be honest, I've been in two. My first one and this one. The first one was just super unhealthy in more ways than one. It was a toxic relationship, it was an abusive relationship, it was an ugly relationship. The best thing that I got out of it was my children. I don't regret being in that relationship because even though from 16 until 23 it controlled my life and destroyed everything that I was as a person, I definitely learned a lot about myself, and from what I went through, now I'm much stronger. So I decided to reflect on the things that relationship gave me, even if it's not your normal, well, we had great memories and we loved each other and it wasn't all bad. It's pretty much all shit. So I have to find those things in the relationship that have helped me grow as a person. Because if you don't focus on those things, all you're going to focus on is the negative and how it hurt you or destroyed your life. And that's not productive for anybody. Cheating is a pretty shitty thing. I've never cheated. No, definitely not my style. For more reasons than one, I guess. I think cheating is just a cop-out because you don't have the balls to lose your security blanket. If you look at a lot of relationships from my point of view, people who cheat on other people don't break up with the person they're with first because they want that pacifier. They want that security blanket. When the person they're cheating with doesn't work out, or it's just a fling and they don't want anything serious, they still want their ride or die to be there waiting for them. I was the one that, I was a great wife. He told me I was a horrible wife, and that's why he did the things that he did. But we always have to remember that people like that are broken. They have much bigger problems than we see on the surface. It's a mental thing. There's just no excuse in my book for cheating. There just isn't. If you're done having a relationship with me, or I don't do it all for you, and you want to move on, bye. There's the door. It's that simple. And, a lot of people are like, I didn't want to hurt them, though. And I knew it was going to really upset them. And I do love them. And I do care about them. Bitch, if you love and care about them, then you would have the respect for them to break up with them before you do the one thing that destroys everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a mystery to anybody that cheating is going to totally screw someone up. Like, it's going to destroy them. It's going to crush them. Unless you're in a relationship where neither one of you care anymore, and you're kind of just in that roommate stage where you guys live together, you eat dinner together, you hang out sometimes, but ultimately you guys have checked out of the relationship, then there's probably some occurrences where people don't care. You know, they find out, oh, you've been cheating on me. Oh, well, you know, I've been done with this relationship. You've been done with this relationship. Let's just both go our separate ways. But very rarely does that happen. It's mostly people going behind someone's back for a long time, people being super shady about it. You know, like, don't go and sleep with somebody and then come into my bed and try to get it with me. Like, how disgusting of a person are you that not just one person devoted to you and loving you and supporting you and pouring everything into who you are as a person, because as a partner and a significant other, that's what you do. Don't come into my bed after you've been with somebody else. Like, how disgusting is that? How little of respect do you have to have for the partner that you care so much about that you don't want to break up with them or tell them you're cheating because you don't want to hurt them? But you think it's perfectly acceptable to go lay with somebody else and then come and get back in y'all's bed? What? No. Cheating's a disgusting thing, and I am more than aware that sometimes people have weak moments. People are human. People are definitely human, and they're gonna make mistakes. And when my ex cheated on me, it was a full-blown affair under my nose with somebody very, very important to me, a family member who I loved dearly. Not past tense, I love her dearly, and she was young and going through a really difficult time in her life as well, and she was trying to discover herself, and God, I think she was like 18 or 19 when it happened. And he's a manipulative son of a bitch. He's a narcissist in every sense of the word. And I'm never gonna really know on her side what fueled her to do something like that to me, because I've never done anything to her. We had a great relationship and it really came out of nowhere. And it was a really hurtful thing. Like, not only did my husband do this to me while I was going through a miscarriage of our second child, but somebody that close to me and my family was willing to also do something so horrific to me. And we were separated for 6 months, I think it was, and he begged and he pleaded and he sent me all these songs and was trying to like woo me and told me how big of a mistake it was and all this bullshit. But that's what cheaters do. They mess up and then they realize, oh shit, I messed up. So they have to start their retaliation on that situation. And then they're always sweet for a while. And I ended up getting back with my ex-husband because Ben was only 2 years old. And I felt like I had worked too hard and put way too much of my life into that relationship to just walk. And I had a child who really was my main source for why I went back, because I felt like he deserved me trying, because that was his family. Those are his parents. He was a baby. Like, he needed that security. So I did go back. And I tried for about another 2 years, at which point I did get pregnant again, and I had Charlie. And Charlie was 3 months old when our relationship really came to a head, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And he kicked us out at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of December. Me and Ben was 3 at the time, and Charlie was 3 months. So through that 2 years, basically what I had said to him was, it's okay to treat me this way. I allowed him to get away with so much, and he just abused my love for him over and over and over again. And he continued to cheat. He continued, I mean, so much came to light that I tried to ignore and that I tried to pretend wasn't happening. It didn't fix the situation. It didn't, it didn't do anything positive. Not for me, not for my children, not even for him. I mean, I allowed him to get away with treating me like that. And for the next 2 years, it didn't get better. I mean, he dropped the Prince Charming act as soon as I moved back in with him. Went right back to his previous behavior. He was the type that always had to have his phone. Like, if you touched his phone, you were probably going to lose an arm. And people who do that are because they're dishonest. They know that they're up to no good. His phone, like, he was constantly going through his data usage on his phone. So when he would come home from work, I would be asleep with Ben because he worked nights. And he would come in and he would steal my phone out from underneath my pillow and log into his Facebook page. And he would spend all night on Facebook. So then instead of going to bed so he could wake up and spend time with his kid, he spent all night on Facebook. And one time I woke up and he didn't log out, and I went to check my messages, and one of the girls he was talking to, who was a friend on my Facebook page, was messaging him, asking him who was better in bed, me or the girls that he had cheated on me with. And the thing that was the most disgusting was he didn't say, you know what, I'm not talking about that question. Like, it was a joke. Like, he joked about being unfaithful to me, for destroying our marriage. Like, it's so funny. It's disgusting behavior. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, when you find out stuff like that, the best thing to do is just confront them. Because in my opinion, you shouldn't continuously live a lie. Like, don't invest yourself into somebody who doesn't even have enough respect for you to be honest with you. Like, you're working so hard. I mean, that's the point, right? Isn't that the point of a relationship, that you guys are building this life together of love and support and honesty and taking care of one another and putting each other first, and your significant other is busy putting somebody else first? Whether you're a guy that's cheating on your girlfriend, a girl that's cheating on your boyfriend, a guy that's cheating on your boyfriend, a girl that's cheating on your girlfriend, whatever the dynamic may be, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. And one of the things that I tell people when they come to me with situations like this is, well, how did you do it? How did you finally stand up for yourself? And I've gone back this many times, and my friends think I'm crazy, and my family thinks I'm crazy. And, you know, I think the one thing that I can really fall back on is knowing that I tried everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I knew that there was anything that was upsetting him, and God, it was everything from how I was to my modeling career to the fact that I was tired from taking care of 2 babies. Whatever it may be, I tried to correct. Like, he was always throwing it back on me, and that's how cheaters are. That's how cheaters are. They're always throwing it back on you. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I was accused of sleeping with people. The mailman, like, that dude walked around our house once in the snow because he saw footprints up to the door and then back out. And I was like, it was the mailman. And he walked around the house and he was questioning me. And he would question our son. I wasn't allowed to ever go out or have friends. Any guy that I talked to online, just friendly, I was accused of sleeping with. It's just, that's how cheaters work. They're always suspicious because they know they're already shady. And then it's funny how they always flip the script. Like, that is very common in a cheating relationship. They always blame you. They always project. He projected everything on me constantly. It was always my fault. I was always the reason for his behavior. I was always the one that I didn't need to focus. I was the one that needed to change, or he was leaving. You know, they always project it onto you. And I was already struggling with anxiety and depression that I didn't even know I had. And I constantly was trying to work on myself to make him happy, when ultimately he wasn't even focused on me or our kids. He was too focused on how many girls he could hit up on Facebook. And I mean, now that I think about it, I was so blind. Like, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe somebody that I loved and had a family with and married, when I didn't even want to get married, thought so little of me that I was exposable. You know what I'm saying? And earlier in our relationship, there were signs. He was constantly trying to get me to sleep with other people. When I worked at a bar, I worked at a sports bar for a while, which he made me do. He constantly was trying to get me to hit on guy customers, and he tried to get me to convince the tanning salon guy to sleep with me. Like, it was sick. You know, I've never openly said that to anybody, except people who are really close to me. But I was constantly having to deal with stuff like that, or him telling me about girls that he saw online that he would fuck, or, it was always that type of mentality. And for almost 8 years trying to deal with that as a woman who already was so controlled and so self-conscious, I had no self-worth. I didn't know who I was. Anytime I thought I knew who I was, he would destroy that. And it was super, super unhealthy, and I should have picked up on those signs, but I was so naive, and I was so young, and I was so stupid. I wasn't stupid, I loved him, and I didn't see it. And I wanted so desperately for our relationship to work that I just kept pouring more and more of myself into it until I had nothing left. And he just kept taking it. He just kept taking it and feeding it into other women. You know, that's the thing with guys like that, or even girls like that. They treat you so bad in a lot of aspects, and they constantly want you to cater to them, and they're not happy in your relationship because of this, and they're not happy in the relationship because of that. And then they go and they pour all of that. Like, all you're doing is begging for time. That's all I wanted. I just wanted time. I just wanted to be as important as his phone. I just wanted to be as important as all the other people that he invested time into. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can spend hours on the phone telling some girl how you're gonna save her from her bad situation, and just totally laying it on thick, but you can't even pay attention to your wife, and then you want to bullshit and complain about how you're not getting what you need? Bitch, why don't you put some time into your relationship, your real relationship, your ride or die? Not all the girls or guys you're hitting up on Facebook, or you're slipping in the DM to hit up. Like, put your time into your relationship that you so-called care so much about, and maybe that relationship will be what you want. But ultimately, they don't want that relationship. They're getting something from you that they want. But they also want to use other people and get things from them. A lot of people tell me, Emily, when I share this stuff, oh my God, I can't believe you, how could he cheat on you? He's insane, what's wrong with him? That's why I share so much of my life with you guys, because from an outsider's perspective, people always assume, well, if you're beautiful, or you have a nice body, or nice face, or, you look physically like a dream, or you seem like the most badass person in the world, then ultimately that means that you can't be cheated on, you can't be hurt, you can't be used, and that's total bullshit. And I'll tell you why that's bullshit. It's bullshit because you're not the problem. You're not the problem. Everybody has been cheated on. The most beautiful men and women in the world have been cheated on. Because ultimately, we're all human, and we invest ourselves into other people. And unfortunately, when you get trapped with a really poisonous individual, it doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't matter how amazing you are or what you have to offer. They don't care. Because in the long run, they're only in that relationship for self. That's it. Being beautiful doesn't save you from being cheated on. Hell no. Because you're not the problem. So many people get cheated on because, oh, well, I was unhappy, or I wasn't getting enough attention. Bitch, open your mouth and communicate then. If I'm not giving you enough pussy, tell me. Tell me and I'll fix it. If you feel like I'm not giving you enough attention or affection or whatever the need may be, come to me. I'm your partner. I want you to be happy in our relationship. I care about your happiness. But that's the problem with cheaters, is they don't care about your happiness, they care about their happiness. They don't care about you, they don't care about that other person they're sleeping with. All they care about is their ultimate game. What are they getting out of it? And it's a sick, twisted game that just goes over and over and over again. And it never stops. And I'm not saying that people make mistakes. That's true. People do make mistakes and things happen, and there's a lot of marriages and relationships where one side has cheated and they get past it. And that's amazing. That's awesome. And that's one thing I can say, is that if you're in a relationship where there's somebody cheats on you and you still want to continue that relationship because you think that there's something there, don't let anybody tell you that you're crazy. Why? Because in the end, you want to know that you did everything. If you really love this person and you really want a life with them and this is it for you, then do everything that you can. Swim that ocean for that person. Because in the end, if they prove that they're not good enough for you, then you know it was them and not you. You know you invested all that time, all that love, all that support. You were the best partner you could be, and it still wasn't good enough for them. That's their problem, not yours. You deserve to have everything given back to you that you feed into a relationship. And there's some people that just aren't going to give a shit about what you do. They don't even pay attention to it. You can say, oh, but I did this, this, and this. And they're like, shit, that still isn't enough. I still saw that girl's ass and wanted to hit it, so I did. What? It's never enough for cheaters. It's a game. It's always the next thing they can smash. And so many of us lose so much of our life to people who destroy us when they cheat on us. And you know, I had to really step back and look at it. You can't allow somebody else's actions to define your worth. Somebody who cheats on you, they are not worth the tears. They are not worth the heartache. But unfortunately, when we're cheated on, we have to walk through that. Feel that emotion. Feel that pain. Walk through it and learn from it. And come out the other side as a fucking beast who knows that you were worth more. That it hurt and you cried. But you're worth more than that. And you're going to go out and you're going to find the person who shows you just how much you're worth. You know, it's really hard to get over cheating. But we really need to focus on the fact that that was not our destiny. That was not our counterpoint. You know, my ex begged and begged for months for me to get back with him. Begged. You're the only person I've ever loved. You're the only person I've ever cared about. I just want to make this work. You know, all the regular crap. The stuff he said the first time, and then when I took him back, proceeded to cheat on me again. You know, it's a runaround. It's always the same. So, I finally told him, I said, you don't love me. Even if in your mind you think you love me, you don't love me. We weren't meant to be together. Ever. You and I were not meant to be together. Maybe we were together because we were meant to create two amazing little human beings that are going to change the world. We were together to learn something from each other. And it doesn't matter how much heartache I've been through. Like, I felt like crawling into a hole and pulling the dirt in over my head, but it couldn't because I had kids. But I've learned so much from being with him. But what he taught me was that I deserve better and that I am better. He taught me that I am strong. He taught me that I am brave. You want to know why? Because I survived him. everybody goes, well, you haven't been in that many relationships, so you can't really talk. No, but I was in one relationship for almost a decade that I'm pretty sure put me through more than my fair share of heartache. You know what I'm saying? We can't waste our time on people who don't even care enough about us to break up with us before they go sleep with somebody else. Is that how much I'm worth to you? I'm so disposable that I'm not even your first choice? You don't want me enough to come to me first? You go to somebody else? Because in that moment, to you, they're better than me? I don't want that kind of relationship. A lot of people told me when me and my boyfriend now first started dating that there's no way you can have a long distance relationship, right? He's in Texas, you're in Oklahoma, you guys barely see each other. Guaranteed he's cheating on you. Guaranteed. Guaranteed everything he says, he's lying to you, he's cheating. It's a waste of time, right? But I knew in my heart that that wasn't the case. I knew this man, and I knew the energy that he gave to me, and I knew the impression that he gave to me. And it's funny how space and time is not what makes somebody cheat on you. A person's heart is. If a person's heart is corrupt, then it doesn't matter. I lived in a home with someone. I had children with someone. I was married to someone. I gave somebody my entire life and being for almost 10 years. And I was still cheated on. I still wasn't good enough. That doesn't make a relationship. If I thought for 1 second my boyfriend now was cheating on me when we're doing long distance relationship, I wouldn't have been with him. I'd have been like, deuces, you're not good enough for me. We have to stop blaming ourselves for the way that people treat us in relationships. When you're in a toxic relationship, or you're in an abusive relationship, or you're with somebody who's constantly cheating on you, it's not you, it's them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for somebody to cheat on you. If they're that unhappy, break up with me. There's no reason to cheat. If you're willing to cheat, then you're not all in with that person. Let that person go. The only person who's afraid of the truth and the repercussions of that truth is the cheater. They don't want to spare your feelings. They want to spare their own feelings. They're too big of pussies to go through the pain that you're going to go through. They don't want to feel guilty. They don't want to feel bad. They're not saving you from it. They're saving themselves from it. They don't want to deal with it. So it's easier to just lie and hide it than be honest. Because ultimately they're not honest people. They're not honorable. Men and women who cheat are not honest individuals. And you don't have time for that. It's not you. You didn't cause it. I mean, think about it. What if the person they're cheating with thought that they were single and they're in a relationship with them? Guess what? They don't respect them either. Because in the other person's mind, they would be cheating on them with you. Even if you were there first. You know what I'm saying? And when that kind of stuff happens, cut that cord. Bye. Don't waste any more of your energy on somebody who does not see you for your worth. You are valuable. You don't have time for that. Cheaters are a waste of time, guys. They're a waste of time. Men, women, it's all types, it's all kinds. And never think that it's your fault that you got cheated on. Walk away. Cut off contact. You know, I was counseling a good friend of mine that I made on Facebook who, she was going through that. Her and her boyfriend had been together for a long time. And then he decided to start cheating on her and began this relationship with another woman who had no idea that he was already with somebody. She was the other woman. And my friend came to me so broken. She's like, why does he keep coming to me? Like, do you want me or do you not want me? And of course he made up excuses. Well, I'm with you because I love her. And I can't do the kind of things with her that I do with you because I love her too much. But I still need you to feed into this part of myself. What? No, bitch. No, that's disgusting. To use two women to get different things out of them and then claim you love them? What? That's mental. And you don't have time for that. Discover your worth and kick these piece of shit human beings to the curb. Hold them accountable. You don't deserve that. Get in their face. I don't deserve that. I deserve better. I deserve to be someone's goddamn precious motherfucking unicorn. I'm not gonna be your side bitch. I'm not gonna be the person that you come to when you need your fucking socks washed. I'm not gonna be the person that invests all my time into your life to try and build you up just so you can go invest all that energy I give you to somebody else. Nah, that's not how it works. We don't have time for cheaters. Discover your worth and kick these people to the curb. Don't waste any more of your time. If you know that guy is treating you wrong and he's cheating on you and he's busy hitting up every bitch on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but then he's like, no, baby, it's nothing. I really love you. Or if you have a girl who's literally sending pictures of her tits and ass to every guy on social media, don't take that shit. You drop those people. Drop them and move on with your life. Because there's somebody out there that's going to really appreciate you and value you, and you're going to have an amazing life with them. And sometimes it's hard to see. Sometimes that's really hard to see because you've wrapped up so much of yourself into this person. It's hard to let go and it's scary. And a lot of times those types of people get you to really believe that they're it for you, that there is nothing else out there for you. Who do you think you are? You better feel lucky for getting anything from them, right? Nah. You are an amazing person who deserves a teammate in life that sees how amazing you are. Cheaters are a waste of time. And nobody deserves to be broken like that. So if you're watching this and you're a cheater, appreciate the person that's giving themselves to you. And respect them enough to be honest with them. And if it's time to let go, it's time to let go. You don't get to hold on to them just because you're scared. You don't get to hold on to them and use their positive energy just because you're scared. If you can't value them, you don't deserve them. And if you're being cheated on, I'm here to tell you that you're worth more than that. And 90% of cheaters don't change. You don't deserve to be second best. You deserve it. None of us deserve that kind of treatment. At all. At all. And if you need somebody to tell you to fucking grab your own pussy and take control of what's happening to you in life, or grab your dick, this is yours. And nobody else gets that part of you. Nobody else gets that intimate part of you that you decide who you share that with and just take it like it's nothing. Nah, we don't play that game here. So today on Daily Dose of Doll, I want you guys to share this video if you've been cheated on. If you're a cheater, be honest. Be honest. Share your stories below. Share your comments below. How did you get out of cheating? How did you heal from it? What are your stories? I want to know how you feel about it in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you get to see all of my videos a day before everybody else. Perks. But I'm Emily Doll, and that is the Daily Dose of Doll. Cheaters suck, cheaters are assholes, and nobody deserves to be cheated on. So if you're a cheater, get some balls. Be honest. Don't be an asshole. Nobody deserves it. If you're being cheated on, know that you're worth more. And I'm in your corner. And if you need somebody to talk to about relationships or your situations with these kind of difficult things in life, remember, I always have an email open for you guys, vintagedollfanmail@gmail.com. Never hesitate to send me an email. I always respond, and know that I love your faces. Know that I love your faces. So after this episode goes live, I'm going to create a new event tonight, and it's going to be for next week's episode of Daily Dose of Doll. I want you guys to help me pick a topic on what we should discuss. Make it a good one. Make it controversial. Make it salty. Let's talk about something cray-cray. Let's get real. Daily Dose of Doll, we don't mean to be offensive, but sometimes we are. And we're usually not sorry about it. I'm Emily Doll. This has been another episode of Daily Dose of Doll. I love your face. Deuce!